What's going on, y'all? This is Alexander. You are plugged into the Nerd Companion. What's going on, y'all? This is Alexander from the Nerd Companion coming at you with a ClashCast episode going over 2025 Netflix WWE Raw debut. We're going to be doing a recap, analysis, how we feel about it, what was good, what was bad, what could be better. I'm going to be joined by my good old friend, Jon. Tell us about yourself, Jon. What's going on, man? How are you?
Nothing much, man. Just excited to get on this episode. This is a new Netflix era. Not just that, we are in WrestleMania season officially. So I'm very excited. I'm very, very, very excited.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. How do you feel about Raw going to Netflix?
Well, I feel like this is a bigger platform that they can showcase a lot more now. You know, we all thought like wrestling is growing and it is on a path of going up. And this was on the USA Network, and just imagine what they can do with Netflix. Netflix is worldwide. I mean, they are already worldwide as it is, but this is just a whole different thing. Like they can showcase a lot more. I think it's going to bring in a lot more money for them. In the long run, and they're able to, I think, run as long or as little as they want. There's no 2-hour mark. There's no 3-hour mark. They want to do an hour and a half show. They can do an hour and a half show if they wanted to. I don't think it's going to happen, but they have so much they can do and so little they can do. They don't need to ask or do buts. And then we saw with the whole Travis Scott little blunt.
Yo, I was in
do a lot of things.
I was in the kitchen whenever he was coming out, and I heard the music, so I didn't see it, but I heard about it, that he brought some ganja.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's cool because, you know, like I said, they can do as little or as lot they want without getting in any trouble. So it's pretty exciting to see what they can do. I feel like, you know, this is going somewhat, because I think it's still PG-13, what they have it as. But
Is it PG?
I think, or what did they say? I don't know. They were in the ifs.
On USA Network, it was PG. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the rating. I just kind of went right into it.
Yeah. I think they were trying to still stay in that PG-13, but I don't think that that's gonna roll. To be honest, I feel like they're gonna just be like, "F it," 'cause they cussing, they smoking, they doing whatever now. So it's like, Attitude Era again, you know.
It was also obviously from Attitude Era to today, culture in general has changed. While I'm saying all this, I'm trying to find that rating.
Yeah, no.
But the culture's changed. I mean, they're in California, so I mean, it's not like it's illegal.
Yeah, they can get, yeah. And also, I mean, I don't think they could ever go back to the Attitude Era. I mean, they did some crazy stuff that you can never do on TV again, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, they've adjusted and they're doing what they can now. And I think with the Netflix, like with this Netflix era, they're going to be able to do a lot more than what they did in the USA.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely still TPPG. So that's funny that they were showing the old doobie snacks with Travis Scott.
That's why I was like, I wonder if they're just going with it right now based off what they did in USA Network, like rating wise, or they're gonna change it as it goes. I have no idea.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, let's get right into it. I mean, how did you feel about Raw, that episode, the debut episode in general?
I think it was really good. I honestly wanted to fly out to LA and go watch it like live, because I mean, it was like a little mini WrestleMania. I mean, you just look at the card. You had Roman Solo. You had, I mean, you don't even need a champion for that match. And then Jay and Drew is a great match, pay-per-view caliber match. Rhea in the world champion match, and then the CM Punk and Seth match I've been waiting for years. So it's like, you put that match on any card, it could have been a Saturday night, and that thing would have drew crap ton of numbers to just watch it. Yeah. So I think overall, like, I mean, we only really got 4 matches, and Dude, all great wrestling to me. I can't even rate like anything lower than a B in any of those matches because of how good they were.
Yeah,
So
I would agree with you. I think it was a solid B. Solid B.
yeah,
It definitely felt like a PLE for sure in regard to the obviously the talent that was there, the names that were wrestling, and certainly with the lack of backstage segments. Not that it's a good thing or bad thing. One of the things that I do enjoy about wrestling in general is the storytelling. And on an episode of Raw, you get a lot of the backstage segments that kind of, pushes these little stories, even if they're not wrestling, that you didn't have in this Raw that made it feel more like a PLE. I mean, which was good. I think that's what they were going for. I think they were just kind of going for a big bang.
yeah, and the other thing, going back on the stories, I feel like wrestling in general, yeah, it's important to have a creative story. And I feel like, we talk about the Attitude Era, and in the Attitude Era there was so much story, it was so good. But dude, they didn't have these wrestlers that they have now. Like, I
Right.
think now we are at a level in wrestling that we see some of the best wrestlers ever to
I would
ever
agree with you.
wrestle. But storytelling, no, we're not there where we were in Attitude Era, but
You don't think so?
definitely. I don't think so. I think the storytelling was way better back in the day, but you also got to think it was way fresher. We have stories that we're telling now, and we're using the same things that they used in the Attitude Era. Like prior to the Attitude Era, what did they have? They had Hogan. They had all these crazies just running to the ring. They didn't need a story. People were just there to just enjoy the show. And like I said, it's kind of grown and grown, and now it's like we're kind of touching back on these Attitude Era stories and kind of taking from there and seeing what they used and what worked and what didn't work. And now they're putting it in these new stories. But the like the wrestling now is what you don't even need a story. In all reality, if I were to be like, hey, I'm putting this card out, the story, you don't need to put a good story out for CM Punk and Seth. You put them in Ring of Honor, they had a great match. You put Jay and Drew, great wrestlers. The only one the story that I cared about the most in this Raw was Roman and Solo.
For sure. For
That
sure.
was the biggest story that we were pretty much following in this. The other ones, not really. CM Punk and Seth, they could have wrestled anywhere, and then they could have sold a good show. Jay
Yeah.
and Drew, same thing. So Rhea is just a big name. You didn't need to tell the story with her. You just put her out there. Everybody loves her, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's made.
yeah.
Okay, well let's get right into it. So it opens up. Triple H gives his spiel. Who comes out first is The Rock. He comes out and has his little speech. How did you feel about The Rock? Let me go first, so maybe you can understand what I'm asking. Prior to the Raw debut on Netflix, we saw the final boss, right? And he's got this, evil character that was menacing, probably some of his best character work, at least in my opinion, in regard to who his character is in the WWE, how he reacts to wrestlers, his commanding presence. When he came out, he obviously broke the fourth wall, right? He wasn't being the final boss, he was The Rock. And I wasn't necessarily sure how to feel about it. And I'm not saying I don't like Dwayne. I feel like we got Dwayne Johnson. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't his character work. So I wasn't sure if it was probably definitely more of like, we need the biggest name to make the introduction to Raw. I liked it from a presentation standpoint. It kind of felt like it broke the wall in regard to who he was and who he's going to be playing whenever he decides to push the story forward with like the mention to Cody Rhodes and they're laughing and have a good time. But in story, they're not in kayfabe. So it kind of felt like disingenuous. It was nice. It's nice to see that they all respect each other and stuff. And I think it was kind of like aimed towards returning watchers or first time watchers on Netflix because they didn't have Sling or a streaming service that watched it, and something kind of like easy to kind of ease into. But for like a real wrestling fan who's been following it, it felt like dang, that's not really what I wanted to see.
I
But
didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see it like that.
yeah,
I definitely wanted to see the final boss like come out. Now it was like a little mix, right? But go ahead and ask your question. What was the final question that
So
you wanted?
I guess what I'm getting at is that like I felt like how did you feel about The Rock being The Rock as opposed to being the final boss? I mean, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he wasn't necessarily in character.
I see it in a business point where it's like, dude, like I gotta put my biggest star worldwide coming out, and I also see it as, oh, he's a board director, and I don't know if you saw, like he bought like a whole bunch of more to be able to be owner of that. I think that eventually he's gonna be the owner of that company. That's what I think. But in the business perspective, I think that it was good pushing him out there. I mean, like, hey, welcome to the new era, blah, blah, blah. But also, bro, you got a story you're about to tell, and he's part of that story. So I didn't like it, but the promo was good. I you know, and I think that as The Rock, it was good. But I didn't want that. I wanted to see the final boss, go talk some smack. It would have been nice to even be like, yeah, we're gonna watch anyways because I'm here, right? So it would have been nice, but it is what it is. I think the promo is good. I think it was a good introduction. Dude, my mom was watching it. She hasn't watched wrestling in years. In all reality, the real reason why we're all wrestling fans is because of her, and she was in love with The Rock. So look at that.
Who's not in love with The Rock? I'm in love with The Rock.
Exactly. Yeah. So but we're talking in the '90s, so she was like, "Oh, that's my favorite."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was cool because she, you know, people like her are that haven't been keeping up with wrestling, and they see The Rock, they see that name, and they're like, "Oh my god, yeah, let me watch," right?
Yeah.
So I think it's cool, but as a wrestling fan, I definitely wish they would have went with the final boss coming out. So
It was definitely like if you're going to a play or the theater to watch a play, and it's one of the main actors comes out and kind of introduces, this is the play, this is what this is going to be about, and then he kind of goes back into the curtain, and then the play starts.
yeah, and I mean, and we also gotta accept like we are again in a new era with wrestling where we know wrestling is fake. Number one,
It's not fake.
it's a story, you know, like we all know, like back in the day, it was like this not fake. We have to accept that this is not fake. Now, the physical and you know what they go through is not fake. You know what they're doing, that's real.
It's choreographed.
It's just the end result, right? So, but we all have to understand that yes, there is an end result. This is a show, and we're creating stories to the point where we're trying to satisfy these people, right? So it was cool. I get it. You know, it's like
definitely
whatever.
think it was aimed towards the bigger audience.
I don't feel like we needed that, to be honest. He could have.
As a wrestling fan,
done it. Yeah, as a wrestling fan, we didn't need it. They could have started off the show with Solo and Roman straight from the get go. And in all honesty, as soon as that Solo music hit, bro, I was ready.
and I think nice.
Bro, dude, I love that song, dude. Yeah, but I'll be ready. I'm like, oh, okay, it's time. But no, I mean, the actual promo itself was good. I wouldn't say it was top tier, but it was good. I mean, yeah, it was welcoming, I guess.
Yeah. No, I liked it. It was a nice presentation, definitely aimed towards the bigger audience, not necessarily being intimate with the wrestling fans, because as wrestling fans, we know that's not his character. And we knew that from that point, at least we knew that The Rock wasn't going to come in and be the final boss for the duration of that episode. But definitely aimed towards the greater audience. And I think it, as a business standpoint, probably the wiser decision. But yeah, I like The Rock. Can't wait to see what he's going to do with the final boss. But yeah, let's get right into at least in my opinion, the best match of the night. The trial combat match. I mean, what did you think of? Like, so obviously the outcome, you know, Roman Reigns takes back the Ulufala. He's the tribal chief. And I was a little surprised that, I mean, I'm not surprised because Solo's character, but I thought that maybe Solo would stay and acknowledge him because he said that he would, you know, and maybe we'll get something like that next week. But I mean, what did you think about the match?
The match itself was awesome.
It was the best match of the night, at least for me.
I think it was up there, but we'll get to the best match to me. Yeah, it ended with who it should have ended. If it ended like this with, you know, Roman winning, I mean, we've had it already, dude. How many times have we had it? It doesn't mean I'm tired of it. I'm not tired of it. But to me, yes, it was up there. It was tremendous wrestling, number one. Number two, great storytelling. It ended with how it should have ended, but I wanted more.
So
what I mean by that is The Rock comes out at the end, you know, and it was an acknowledgement to me, but I wish, this is where I wish WWE would have made him turn. Okay, Roman, you know, he's pointing his finger, he turns around, bah, rock bottom. And he picks up the Ulufala. He throws it back at him. He looks at Paul Heyman. He nods, boom. It could have been that, dude. I would have been super. Dude, WrestleMania's around the corner. That's what we want.
I see what you're saying. And I think that, you know, I was probably wanting the same thing. That's why I think I was a little disappointed when Dwayne Johnson came out and not the final boss. Because when he came out as Dwayne Johnson, you took away from the majesty of kayfabe. Like, you're seeing him What makes wrestling so good, and I think what Seth Rollins and CM Punk, Drew McIntyre is excellent at it, is that when they are talking with each other and have these feuds, I have a hard time distinguishing what
If
is
it's real or
kayfabe
fake.
and what's shooting. Like it's
Yeah.
they're like some of the best at it, at selling hatred towards each other, and that's what makes wrestling so good for me. And when he comes out and does that, dang, all right, he's not going to do that. But I agree with you. I think it would have been really interesting to see The Rock come out and maybe betray Roman Reigns. But that's not to say it's not going to happen. I mean, who
Yeah, I
knows?
think it's gonna happen eventually, but man, and I mean, even the stare down. No, at the end, the stare down was like, oh dang, like I think we're gonna get it, and maybe that's all they wanted to do. They wanted them to just do that stare down because they're kind of still on, hey, should we do it? Should we not? Regardless of it, though, even that how it ended, I gotta say, dude, Solo has grown on me so much.
I love so.
When he started, I wasn't the biggest fan. Coming from NXT, he was good. I mean, he already had the wrestling background with his family. Then him becoming the tribal chief, I didn't like it. And then slowly, as more people started coming into his group, I did like. So his mic skills have been on point. His wrestling has been on point. Like, I mean, him as a heel, it works. People hate him. You obviously saw when he came out, dude. They were like, "F you, Solo, dude."
Yeah,
Bro, everybody was anti-Solo, but that's what you want. That's drawing the crowd, right? So I think it was one of the biggest like heel pops in a while that we've seen in overall in the last 3-4 months. So Solo's been so good, dude. Like overall, like I would say he's so good. I don't think like he needs to even be in this storyline. He can create his own storylines now going down and still be really good.
yeah.
So
What's
I
interesting with
think
Solo, I feel, whenever you touched on how much you liked him, months after becoming tribal chief, I find that oftentimes wrestlers, maybe they do on purpose, maybe they do just incidentally, kind of follow in the same path and kind of follow the same personality of the ones that were before them. And Solo did a really good job as becoming his own identity as the tribal chief, because even from the small things, whenever he says acknowledge me, Roman would scream it, right? He demanded respect, but then Solo had this calm collective acknowledge me. He said it with a cool, he didn't need to scream it because he was saying it so confidently and quietly. I don't need to scream.
yeah,
You will acknowledge me. And the
yeah.
other thing is that he really leaned into this kind of comedic role in a sense too, and he was just this different character. He really flourished, and just as you said, I felt the exact same way. Didn't like it that he was tribal chief, but there was somewhere in between when that happened and now, on the Netflix episode,
It was like
that
boom.
it just all came together as him, as his
Yeah,
own
yeah.
identity.
Like I said, and once they started adding more people to his group, his bloodline, it just started falling into line. Looking at it on his bloodline, who he has in his bloodline, dude, he has some really good people behind him, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
he
talking
has the
about
MVP rookie draft.
Tamatanga. Number one is, I think, once they release Tamatanga to do his own thing, tremendous. You're gonna release Jacob Fatu to be bro. Another one that's gonna be top tier. One of the best wrestlers on that whole rosters to me. Jacob Fatu. When I would watch his when it wasn't in WWE. I was like, dude, this guy's gonna be crazy good when he goes to
Yeah,
WWE. Dude, now
he
he's
to me
there and
is
you're
the
seeing it.
rookie of the year, like
Yeah,
WWE
100.
rookie of the year. He is the literally the best pickup that they had all year.
Yep. Yep. So I mean, but going back to the Solo, yeah, like I really enjoyed and I liked how much they built him and then they got him to this stage. It would have been nice to see it, on a I guess like a PLE, but this was just as big as a PLE. So I mean,
Yeah,
it
there
was
was a lot of
great. I
people
mean, yeah.
watching
Yeah, so I think this was the best thing. Like, like they showed who Solo Sequoia. If they wanted to continue the storyline or something about it, there now people know who Solo is. But
for sure.
and then Roman comes and comes out biggest pop. Dude, Roman Reigns, like I'm gonna tell you, I've always liked Roman Reigns, but there's something so different about him now that I can be like, yeah, this is a goat, bro. Like
Well, yeah,
like
I mean,
he doesn't need to speak. He just comes out. There's this aura about him. Like he could come out once a month like he's normally gonna be doing, I think, from here on out. And dude, pop,
right.
money.
I think because, back then, whenever they were really trying to push him and make him the face, like the crowd wasn't taking it. You know what I mean? And even when you saw The Rock trying to give him the rub and, celebrate him, but everyone was booing him, which I think was the monumental moment whenever they were staring each other down, is they were like, this is it. Like, we did this before and it didn't work the way we wanted to, but like, this is it. Like, this was what my intention was for you years ago, and you're
At the
here
Rumble.
now. You know what I mean? So, but, totally lost my train of thought.
No, like on the Roman stuff,
Right. So,
Yeah.
like, whenever he came back from treatment and remission, and he basically became this character, he's like, I don't care what you think, kind of thing, where we saw this crescendo into this super villain. Like you said, like he's leagues of love, levels of
Yeah.
love.
And in all reality, too, though, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he's the best wrestler,
Oh yeah,
but dude, like for storytelling, for anything wrestling related, overall, dude, bro,
I
this
mean that's
guy,
what
this
makes
is this is
WWE
the guy.
WWE. Yeah,
Yeah, this is the guy. Like you're going to back then when they were trying to stick him down our throats. And I think it was just it was such a bad timing too, because we had just left the John Cena era where like, he was the guy, they were pushing John Cena. He never turned heel. That's what worked in that era. But dude, I think there was always something about Roman that needed to be like an anti-hero type of like personnel. Like, and when he left and came back like that,
yeah,
that was it. That's
yeah.
all he needed.
The I mean, I think you nailed it right on the head in regard to what needed to happen to become
Yeah.
who he was.
Now, let me ask you, what did you think about like Kevin Owens butting into this?
Oh my God. So honestly, I'll take a step out before answering that question. I loved the interference and the pacing of the interference because it really made it feel like it was like the last scene of Avengers. Do you know what I mean? Every corner, everything was coming in, and it was nonstop. You were not going to look away from that TV screen. There was moments in the Raw where I looked away on the TV screen to answer my wife's text or whatever, but whatever was coming on my phone or happening in my periphery, it didn't exist because that moment was so intense. I was gripping the couch. I couldn't take my eyes off it, and to me, I thought that was good. In regard to the characters that they chose to intervene, I mean, I know you had the history with Kevin Owens going in there. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's why he's feuding with Cody, right? So, why not go for the man that you know the
Has
reason why
mania.
you're mad, why you're
Yeah.
mad, and then Cody getting involved, and then I thought it was really good, pretty well done, at least from a
I didn't
choreograph standpoint.
expect it. I didn't expect it because
I didn't
of the
either.
Cody thing. But I personally thought that it was gonna be maybe Seth that screws him over, and this is how they turn him heel or fully heel.
Cody,
But no, Seth. I thought maybe this, because
you're
Seth is
talking about the
tired of
end.
this shit. Yeah, no, like towards the end of this match.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I thought maybe something, but he had his own thing. But I guess this was the perfect time to throw Kevin in there. But I liked it. It didn't bother me that he was in there. I wasn't expecting it. It was like oh,
Remind me who he stunned again. Who did he stun?
who he stunned
Yeah,
Reigns, didn't he?
didn't he? I
I
couldn't
think he
remember
stunned
what he
Reigns.
did. I
Yeah,
was like, oh my God.
yeah, he stuck Reigns and he stunned her. I think if I'm correct, this is Roman who he went after immediately.
I thought it was.
And then that's when they were like, Cody, Cody. They were chanting Cody. And that's when they're like, hey, come on. And he obviously kicked out. But
Yeah.
um, I think it
I
was,
like.
I guess, like, yeah, it was good. It was good. But, and it's going to just fuel the fire on the Cody and Kevin, on why he hates that Cody tagged along with him and everything. And this is where I think that they could have gone a little bit better. Was Drew could have went out there too, because Drew and Kevin are both like, I hate them, right? And the reason why I'm going after Jay is because he's Roman's cousin. I'm gonna take out the whole bloodline, blah blah blah. He could have went in and interfered too, created a bigger pop. But I mean, it's fine.
I think the
I
only
was
reason why
cool
they
with
didn't
it.
get involved is because they were all involved at different matches. If they didn't have a match, then they definitely would have made the cameo.
Yeah. But I think they did such a good job at like kind of creating everything and making everything like feel like it was all one. So there's a lot of storylines that are coming out of this. So I think Kevin coming in and continue his storyline is going to be good. So I enjoyed it. Did he need to be there? No, I mean, it would have been fine if he wasn't, but it was good that he was there. And then not too long after that, like after he stunned him, boom, Roman wins.
Yeah.
So
That was a great match, dude.
I think it was great. I think it was an A, at least to me, like an A. I wouldn't say plus because the plus would have been Rock fucking turns on
Okay,
him and boom.
that's fair. That's fair.
But
Yeah,
but good match. I think that's how it needed to start, with a bang. When they were asking me when should that match end, I said no, that match should start it because you got to start hard, bro.
and they did. They started hard.
Yeah, and tremendous. I graded that like an A. The acknowledging could have been better, but I
Yeah,
liked it.
I give it a 9 out of 10. And yeah, to make it perfect would have been like the things that you hit up on for sure. All right, let's get into the next match. Hold on 1 second.
We can't forget that John Cena appearing around. That's immediately after.
There's actually like a lot of segments I want to hit up.
Yeah.
Okay, so kick it off, man.
Well, John Cena, what do you think about the John Cena appearance? This is the beginning of the end for our number one GOAT of WWE, they say.
He's not my goat.
Now he's not my
I
GOAT,
miss,
but he is a WWE GOAT. One
yeah,
of to
no,
me.
no. I respect everything that he's done, but a
Yeah.
disclaimer for the viewers and maybe you. I stopped watching wrestling, shortly after WCW and WWF,
Yeah.
became one company and really didn't even pick it up. I mean, I was familiar with some of the names that were there, but never really watched it. So I missed the whole Ruthless Aggression era. So I missed my moments to have affection for John Cena, right? But I knew who he was. He was a household name, and I didn't watch wrestling, but I knew who John Cena was. Like he was huge. I mean, there's no denying what he's done for that company, what he's done for himself, for wrestling, and all that. But in regard to him coming out, you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't have a lot of memories with John Cena. I can only see clips when he's been like brutal with the mic. You get like these shorts and these clips. Oh my God, he said that, or like in these ruthless things that he would do. But then I'm watching this Cena now, and he just seems like unmotivated and like no confidence. I'm not sure if I can do, and it's hard for me to get up and back you. It makes sense for someone that grew up with you and saw you at your peak, and then you have like the fallen warrior, and you're like, no, you can do this. You know what I mean? And that works for them. But I missed all of that. You know what I mean? So the only thing that I see is this guy who's like, I don't know if I can do this. I got 2,400 days without winning a match, and bro, get out there and own it. I missed it, and that's my fault. And I think that plays a influence on why I don't really care for Cena. I care for Cena in the sense that he's a big name. I understand that he has a reputation, but I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it for Cena as I do for other wrestlers. But I feel like that's my fault.
Yeah.
And I'm missing
No,
out
no,
on some great people.
and also you gotta be a fan of Cena, because I think, like, in all reality, let's talk about that. Let's bring up like Ric Flair, right? Ric Flair had his own match. Everybody wants to see it. It's Ric Flair. He's a big name. I didn't grow up watching Ric Flair that much because I was a little kid, but still, it's Ric Flair,
I mean, you
right?
watched him in WCW, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, but dude, it wasn't the same Ric Flair
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
that everybody loved,
Right.
right? But I get it, because a lot of people. This is where a lot of people went away, bro. Like they stopped watching wrestling. They were tired of that crap. Of the when they went PG, like it was really hard. But and then they found Cena, and then obviously they saw that little kids love Cena, so he became this big household name. Now, if you think about who he was surrounded with around that time, bro, like Eddie Guerrero, Batista, Edge. I mean, we're talking all that. Jeff Hardy, like at his top peak. Dude, he was surrounded by some tremendous people, and he still managed to carry that company and him be the face of that company during that time. So yeah, like, I mean, yeah, a lot of people, he deserves the respect that he is getting. A lot of people are like really happy that he's coming back and stuff, and they're sad that he's retiring. I don't know how much of this is a real retirement, but this is
I'm
the
sure it's
end,
real.
if this is the end and he doesn't come back, like, and he just hangs up his boot, comes back like kind of the Undertaker, and shows up on small segments, I'm cool with it. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
this is
cool.
the best time for him to do it. He's still in tremendous shape. He still can wrestle and put in some good matches probably. So this farewell tour, I think they can make some good money off of it, number one. And number two, they can create some good stories. Number three,
He can
if it
give you
ends with him somehow facing the champion, I'd be okay with it, because this is the end. And I kind of want to see him break that record for that Ric Flair record. But we'll go, we'll see what happens. And
Having
even
said
if he
what I said,
doesn't, there's so much story, like I said, that could go from here. He can go out and win the Money in the Bank and be boom, be
yeah,
a champion again. He can win the Elimination Chamber. He can win the Royal Rumble. Those are safe things for the WWE to do, right? But we'll see. I'm excited to see what matches come out of this because there can be some great matches. He talked about Drew McIntyre with him. I like it, but at the same time, Drew is in a peak where he's creating these storylines for himself that leave him alone. You got Cody Rhodes. I could like that. If you were to win the Rumble, go fight Cody Rhodes. That would be a good match, I guess, and it would be a safe match for Cody to keep his champion, keep his championship title running.
so how do you see that working if he's going to break that record? Like he'll lose at Mania and then pick it up at another PLE?
What I think, because he said this is his last year, this is his last WrestleMania, so it doesn't mean that after Mania he's done. So if they were to want to go and do like, hey, go, he wins the Rumble, he goes and face Cody, he loses to Cody, he wins the Money in the Bank, and he goes after the world champion, the world heavyweight champion. I think that would be the safest route for WWE to take. They could do that, but will they do that? I don't know. So they're changing up a lot of storylines right now. So, but they can go a lot of routes with John Cena, and I think I'm excited to see what route they go. The promo itself wasn't the greatest promo. I think it was a B minus to me,
Yeah,
at
just
least.
like
It
bad.
was minimal, like I really. No, honestly, like I didn't really care to watch it, but I watched it because it's like I know this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah. What I like
So
most about Cena is that he plays on the fact that he knows he's not a good actor, and he's kind of like real with that. And those are the things I like about him because he's a charismatic guy. Like I think when he's on the screen, I think he's funny. Like he has the it factor, and I like that. And then this run gives him an opportunity to at least give the rub to the new generation as he's departing.
yeah, so we'll see what route they take, but yeah, exciting. I think like was it right before that the New Day cut a promo or something like that, or was it after?
I think it was after.
Yeah,
There's one promo I'm really excited to talk about. I just can't remember when it took place.
which one,
Chad Gable.
dude?
You didn't watch that?
I thought it was okay. I mean,
So
but we know what's coming.
Okay, let's just go into that, and then you can tell me you can tell me what you think is coming, and I'll go into what I think is coming. So, okay, so you get the segment where Chad Gable is basically saying like, Adam Pearce, choose an opponent for me, like choose any lucha you want, and to me, because the week prior you had Rey Mysterio going to tag team against the New Day. And he's like, I can choose any partner you want. He looks at Dragon Lee, and immediately my head went to Penta. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
Penta
what I
can
thought
come and
too.
do this. But then Chad Gable has this thing, and he says, you can pick any lucha you want, whoever you want. So then I'm going, damn, next Monday Night Raw, that could be Penta's debut. That's how they can introduce him. And that's why I'm excited because like I feel like I love Penta. And I feel like for me, I know that there's other lucha greats, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I got into Penta and he made me really like lucha wrestling because of all of the matches that I watched. And, I know it's probably blasphemous to say because you have Rey Mysterio, you have, a lot of people say that he's like one of the greats, and like he's great. He's amazing. He's a Hall of Famer. Like I get it. He's a legend. I didn't appreciate lucha at the time when I was a kid because they shove all the big names down your throat. But like Penta, his gimmick, like just everything about him is like I'm a metalhead. You know what I mean? Like so when I see someone like has like the darkness, like Undertaker, and like has like this dark persona, and like throwing that in with lucha, like that was my in to be like, oh, I like this character a lot. I like him a lot.
Yeah, no,
and
Penta,
I hope Chad Gable faces Penta next week. That's basically.
I think it's gonna happen. I don't see them being like what's his name, the Otis coming out with a mask and becoming a luchador,
Dude,
right?
They might just do something.
They might do some dumb shit like that, but
they might.
That's what I thought when he was saying all that. When this promo was going on, the first thing I thought was like, man, they're gonna freaking screw this up, and it's gonna be Otis with a mask.
That would actually be funny. This is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, that's the first thought that came to my head when that promo was on.
That
That's
is
why I'm like, I don't
hilarious.
really care. Just come on. Now, whenever the New Day and it was Bray, like whenever they had that whole promo and they said, "Oh, you're gonna have this, you can choose whatever partner you want," I was like, I guess they're gonna go with Penta. And what I thought was like, man, if they do go this route, Penta needs to turn on Ray because
Yeah,
Penta is another anti-hero type wrestler.
yeah,
Dark, like you said, like the Undertaker. I don't want to see him as a babyface, and
me
they
neither.
better not come at us with no babyface Penta, cause I ain't about it. I want to see him
It'll
go through that whole roster, destroy it, let him show off his wrestling. He has a good character. He can talk on a mic, or he can have like a manager, whatever they want to do. It needs to be dark because this
I
is
don't even
this
think
is
he
a
has to
great
speak.
opportunity. Now, Penta to you, how Penta is to you, Andre Cien Almas is to me. Yeah, like I'm like, bro, like they
Andrade
screwed
is
him.
great.
I think Andrade is one of those like wrestlers that if they would have played it right, this he could have been the top wrestler. To me, to still is still one of the best wrestlers on that roster, and they need to use
He
him
is
better.
one of the best
So
wrestlers on that roster.
we'll see. We'll see. I hope they use Penta right. But yeah, I'm excited for Penta to come to WWE. But they can do so much with him. I think if they throw him in the mid card, it's gonna grow the mid card even more. So I'm super excited. They can throw him against Jay. They can throw him against whoever they want, Sammy, whoever they want to do there. Boom. We have great
Andrade
matches.
and Penta would be freaking
Give me
amazing.
that at Mania. Give me that at Mania.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would take it. It
yeah,
could be like the first match. It could be like a filler match, and we're gonna get the best filler match there is.
right.
Both of them.
So
So
yeah, if it's Penta and he comes out, I can finally doff the mask. I can take it off. I might bring it out for special occasions, but yeah,
I like it. Yeah, now you got to start wearing the contacts.
yeah. I
Start
was like gonna paint my face,
painting
but I
the
was like, man,
eyes.
I don't want to go through all that.
He said, "Let me go through my wife's makeup real quick."
She'd be so pissed. She'd be so pissed. She pay. Yeah, I ain't got. Well, we ain't gonna go into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Next.
All right, not touching that one.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know when that segment took place, but I was super excited about it. My boys that I talk to on a regular basis that are wrestling fans, they give me such a hard time that there's any sort of like mystery lucha thing, like, oh, this is it, like, and they all give me a hard time about it. So I hope this is it, man, because I'm super excited. I would love to see Penta, and as you said, not a baby face, but as a heel. I think he would get a good pop, and it would be exciting at first, but it would fall off quick.
Yeah. Yeah, they need yeah, he needs to be a heel. Throw him against LA Knight, throw him against
Yes.
whoever, like a face, and it's gonna be boom. It's gonna be magic, bro. I think if they use him right, this is great opportunity to grow the Mexican crowd, number one, and especially going into Backlash and they're saying in Mexico City, bro. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Yeah,
Penta and Mexico City. What
it's
they're
gonna
gonna
be
do?
stupid.
They need to do a great card for them. Like grow him now and use him in the right time.
I mean, what you said about, if he is, if they do intend on using him in that tag match with Rey Mysterio, have him face and then betray him in Mexico City, that would be freaking huge. You know what I mean? Like that I mean, that's a really good booking idea. So Paul, if you're listening, you heard it here at the Nerd Companion, right there over at Jon Pocasangre.
Yep.
Get him on the writing board.
Come on, get me on, man.
Get
I'd be like,
your
yes,
boy.
yes, yes, yes. Oh, that would be a dream job. So
Okay. But yeah, they could use him for that tag match, and then they could have him actually come out and do the Raw thing. But I think it would take away from the big pop. Okay, so let's move on. Do you have any more? Can you remember any segments that may have happened before Liv and Rhea?
no, I think I want to say that the John Cena, it was immediately after that they started. So I don't know when. I don't remember when the Chad Gable one was, but yeah, it was after John.
We can hit the
They
segments.
started
We can
Rhea.
sprinkle them in there. It doesn't need to
Okay,
be.
yeah. The Rhea and Liv Morgan one.
Yeah. So Liv Morgan, the champion, versus Rhea Ripley. I hope that this is the end of that feud. I don't. I really don't want it to go on any further.
It was
Than,
boring to me.
I mean,
That was the B.
I feel like it
B
was
minus.
boring because I feel like, I just feel like it would drug out for so long. And I think the reason why it drug out for so long was because Rhea was injured and they couldn't work the story, but it kind of just had this overhanging thing. But
Excuse me. What I didn't really like is that it was dragged out. Number one, I don't feel like they used the Judgment Day right, to be honest, in this storyline because it should have been used a lot more. I mean, I guess towards the end Dom came out and she gave
Finally,
him his the finisher,
Riptide.
and but I don't know, like this to me. I don't think the storytelling wasn't good to me in this actual match. So it was more of enjoying the actual wrestling for me in this match, and that's the reason why I gave it a B minus. To me, storytelling was boring, but
I would agree.
the wrestling match itself was good. She is a tremendous wrestler. I think
Animal.
anywhere you put her or who you put her against is gonna be awesome. So I gave that whole match itself like a B.
Yeah. So obviously Rhea Ripley won. I give it a B minus. I thought that somebody was going to come out and challenge her. I thought Charlotte Flair was going to come out or Becky Lynch was going to come out, even though we've already seen Becky and Rhea. Did we see? No, we saw Charlotte and Rhea.
I thought this is where, because it was rumors that Becky was gonna come out, and I thought maybe if, because that match doesn't need a championship, like a championship to me.
Agreed.
I thought maybe what was gonna happen was we were gonna get Becky come screw Rhea, and then Becky could be heel, Rhea could be face, and then Rhea loses this match, and then they set up the match for Mania. But I mean, they're going this route. Maybe they have something else planned. But I was thinking Becky was gonna come in and screw Rhea, but it didn't. So oh well.
The dead man came,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one.
gave her the rub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he passed the torch down to the female. It's pretty cool. I guess it's cool because he's trying to get his daughter into wrestling. I think so. He's passing down the torches to the females. That way, he can probably create some storylines for his daughter in the future. Right?
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's get into, was it Drew McIntyre and Travis Scott? Yeah, I think that's why Drew lost. I think he got secondhand high. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I only lost because you're Travis Scott, and then you got me high.
No, I think it was a good opportunity for Jay to win. Number one, because Jay has, dude, he is, the crowd loves Jay Uso right now, and I think they need to continue growing him and growing him and growing him, especially on this platform as big as Netflix. Jay needed to be pushed because the world needs to see who Jay Uso is.
And I think that was the point of the match because it seemed
Yeah,
like kind of like a weird match to throw in there.
yeah, it was. I mean, they could have created more story to it. Now, also, I did say, like, hey, like Drew does need to lose so he can continue to be mad and work with Kevin Owens, and at some point, I would like to see Kevin Owens win the WWE champion, but it's not. I don't think it's going to happen. What I think or what I hope that they do from this is Drew continues to be mad and mad. He starts going after the bloodline, continue to go after the bloodline. Kevin's continuing his storyline. We already saw that they're mutually like somehow connected, and they're somehow gonna be connected. And I think the third guy that is gonna help is gonna be Seth at some point.
Mm.
So I think this match, it was kind of like a filler. Good wrestling. Continue story. Continue to create, like, Jay as a bigger star, and let Drew continue to be mad, and continue the other stories that are happening on the side. So I think it was a good move for them to not give Drew the win, especially because he's a heel. Why would you give him a clean win, right?
I
So
agree.
I
I
think
thought
this is
that
just,
the win itself was definitely like a big fu to Drew from Jay's standpoint. Like, dang, like I didn't even get a finisher. Like you snuck that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was
So
kind of like
I enjoyed the wrestling. I wouldn't grade it an A, like, and be like, oh man, it was tremendous, but it was up there. I'd just say like a regular B. It was good, a good filler. It kept me entertained. I wasn't really bored from the actual match. Now I'll tell you, I was losing track on when Rhea and Liv was fighting. Like I said, Rhea's good. Liv, to me, I don't know. Like, she hasn't grown as much as people like. To me, like, Liv is like a mid card to me. But a lot of
right.
people love Liv
Okay.
Morgan for other reasons. But I lost a lot of track on that more than this actual match. I think there was a good filler match.
Yeah, I give it a high C, low B. That match. There were some moments I was kind of like losing track. I don't know if Jay and Drew complement each other in the same way for like they're both individually like premier wrestlers. I just don't think that they work well together in the ring. Like they have like Drew's more of like a kind of like Roman Reigns, like he's like slow, methodical, and then like these explosions. And Jay's kind of like quick. You know what I mean? Like he just has like he's doing a lot of running, he's doing a lot of jumping. And I feel like the match itself had some pacing issues that I felt like it was hard for me to follow, as much as it was for other matches.
I think we talked about something like this on the WrestleMania podcast. Like,
Yeah.
should we have like heavyweight class, middleweight class and stuff in wrestling? I don't know if was
No,
it on
we talked.
Mania?
Yeah, we talked
Something
about
like
that.
that, right? And this is the reason why I think that they probably should have some type of class, and like whether or not they should have them fight. But then again, it's like I get it, I get
Yeah,
why they haven't done it. But
they
yeah,
need the
no,
cruiserweight belt
yeah, dude,
or something to that
Jay,
equivalent.
because Jay, I don't think he's up there with Drew and Roman, but they also don't have that many heavyweights. If you really think about it, if you really look at the whole roster in itself, like you really don't have slow, good wrestlers like Roman and Drew that can keep that heavyweight division going. So, but yeah, it was some pacing issues. I think it was definitely like you said, but a good overall match, I think. And immediately after that,
Well, hold on, I want to talk about one thing before we get into the last part. I've got to talk about Hulk Hogan coming out and getting.
That's what I was about to say. Immediately after that, we get
Gotcha.
Hogan goes booed.
I was so cringed out watching that and uncomfortable.
I was too, though.
Not because of Hulk Hogan, but just how his reception was, and he was like, "All right, I still got to maintain positivity.
I know but
Still got to acknowledge you're my friends."
Dude, he ran out of that crap, dude. Like his shirt was still hanging off his dang back.
What would you done if he ripped it open? It was like a Trump shirt. I would have thought it'd been funny. Like, whoa.
People are talking about, oh, yeah, well, people are like, oh, Hulk Hogan got booed because he's a Trump supporter. No, bro, that is not why.
Yeah,
he's definitely not why. Because if that was the case, Undertaker would have got booed. Undertaker had a whole podcast with Trump, right?
Correct.
So it wasn't that. I think people are, we've heard so many stories, and in all reality, to the point now that if you really think about it, WCW's fall is because of that man. He didn't allow stories to be created. He didn't want to drop titles, and then also he had a lot to do with, from what they say, I don't know if this is true or not, with him and Vince like having, stuff that they shouldn't have been doing. So a lot of people are just like, nah, bro, we'll accept that he is, he brought us to where we're at in wrestling, but we don't want to see him.
Yeah.
And it's stupid that they actually they advertise like his beer and stuff when they have one of the biggest stars, Stone Cold, with a beer that they could have done that with, right?
Yeah.
So they could have partnered with Broken Skull instead of the American beer that he's trying to push in the I guess because it's new, but I don't know. I didn't really like that he didn't need to be there.
Buy a couple just to see what it tastes like, but I'm definitely a Broken Skull guy. I love.
Yeah, when I lived down in LA, they was literally 15 minutes from where I used to live in Inglewood, and dude, it was good. El Segundo beer is good in general, and then them partnering with Stone Cold, oh man, even better, right?
The lager is good. Their IPA is good.
Yeah,
that beer is really good.
Stone Cold,
and I definitely feel the glass
send us some beer, please. Stone Cold, if you're listening, send us some beer. But yeah, no, back to Hogan getting booed. I don't know, man. Like this, I think it was stupid of WWE to put him out there, especially in LA. So
yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I was like, yeah, that was weird. That was a weird segment.
I bet he felt terrible walking out. I bet he was like, "Well, I'm gonna go crawl into a hole and never come out."
I don't think he thought that that's how his segment was gonna go.
I guarantee you, he had to have known.
No way, dude. This guy, he wouldn't have signed up for that. If I'm Hogan and I know that they don't like me over there, bro, I'm not going out there and talking. Dude, he tried to like talk about Andre the Giant and all these other wrestlers so he can get a little pop. Nothing. He still got booed. Nobody was listening to him there.
I think he anticipated being celebrated, but I think he knew at the moment he was getting booed. He had to have known. Those were loud.
He could have just showed up and been, hey, bye. I didn't want to hear a segment. Yeah, I was one of those. It's like, it's weird. I don't really care to hear a segment right now, but whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the main event.
Yeah, been waiting for this one.
That was definitely like a PLE match.
Dude, this is a WrestleMania caliber match.
I mean, that should have been the rumored match.
And this should have been the main event at some point in WrestleMania, either night one, definitely night one. I don't think it deserved night two, but
Unless one of them had a belt.
dude, yeah, but they didn't need a belt.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
didn't
Like
need a
that's the
belt
only
for
way it would
this.
make the main event night 2 is if one of them had a belt.
But I do think that they should have taken a little bit more time with this feud. I feel like they have a lot more story to tell. Dude, they have, I don't know what it is, but them together, they can wrestle together, dude.
Not only that, but they can talk to each other and you believe it.
Yeah, bro, and no, on it, like Seth is the real reason why that whole feud has worked. Seth has talked crap about Punk since he left. And I don't know if it's true or not, and I don't really care to know, but bro, they have created this story to where I'm like, bro, they hate each other. They
Yeah.
hate each other.
And that's what I was saying
So
earlier. Like those are two that like best to make you believe that they hate each other, along with like Drew and all that. Like you believe what they're saying, you feel what they're saying, and they hit each other on things that's like, oh, that was kind of deep. I don't know if you like. I don't know if you should have said that.
last week when they were on the final Raw on USA, when they were giving us that last promo together, it was like, bro, we're really gonna end the year off like this? The best
Yeah,
promo of the year ends on the
yeah,
last Raw, bro. Yes, I loved it. They were going at it, and it was like, I don't think a Seth can say anything worse, and then CM Punk said something even worse, and then Seth comes back, and I'm just like, oh, they
escalated.
ended it perfect. This is it. This is it. They sold us. We want to watch it. We want to see it.
Yeah.
So now the match itself, did you think that CM Punk needed that win?
Yes. So I don't think Seth necessarily needs a win. And I'll say there's reasons why I think Seth should have lost, and then reasons why I thought CM Punk should have won. Like they both complement each other in ways that I think the story should go for both of them. Given that CM Punk has come back, they've got to at least from a standpoint business, they got to make him look good. You know what I mean? Not that they made him look good. Like he's a fantastic wrestler. But in regard to like the storytelling, like they need to build him up because he was one of the big entrances, and I feel like they're investing a lot in this guy. You know what I mean? In regard to pushing it forward and having his last wrestling run as a professional wrestler, and making a legacy for himself in a positive way, not so much as a pipe bomb way. Having him, I see him winning the world title at WrestleMania. Like I don't see him not winning it. You know what I mean? Whether he goes to Elimination Chamber or not, and becoming, because I don't see him going heel with the way that he's going. So I think he's going to be the face, and I feel like you're gonna see a world title victory at WrestleMania. I just don't see it at this point not going that way. And to go to Seth Rollins losing, the reason why I think he should lose is because I think they're going to start pushing him, as we made mention earlier, going heel and aligning himself with Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. Like we need something to like really beat him down, where he's like, you know what, screw all of this, and he's just going to start hurting everyone instead of like trying to win these clean matches. No, I'm gonna become an any means necessary wrestler now at this
Yeah.
point. And I think you were seeing it because his anger is just getting out of control. And he's just, weeks ago we saw him beefing with Sammy. Sammy made mention to him like, you're the reason why Roman Reigns is who he is, because you betrayed him. And it's all this stuff is just like compounding, and like we're gonna at least I think, and they should have him become heel. I was wanting him heel after WrestleMania, honestly.
Yeah. Now, they could have continued on his stuff after Mania. He could have been heel, and it still would have been good. But
I think it'll be
and this
better
is
for him if he goes heel, honestly.
no, 100%. But he's not a face. He's never been like a real face.
Yeah, like babyface. Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
a
like
tweener.
he's like kind of what
Tweener.
Triple H used to be. Like, you got to watch it back. 'Cause that fool can stab you in the back real quick. So like a little anti-hero type. But initially, when they said, "Yo, this is gonna be the match," I said Seth has more to lose than CM Punk. If they wanted to, Seth could have won that clean. And I say this because I'm like, dude, CM Punk doesn't need to win this match for him to go out and win the Rumble and become world champion. I think Seth needs to win this match more than anything, because I feel like they've hurt his character so much towards the end of this actual year. I feel like his character has fell off.
Okay.
Now, the direction that they went, I think was the best direction they could have went. But and I said this earlier. I said I feel like they rushed it because I think he should have turned heel during this actual match. But I think now with him
Because we,
losing, I think now with him losing, this is a perfect time for him to go out next Monday and be like, you know what? I lost this match because y'all, because of the crowd. Y'all were chanting CM Punk so much. How could y'all chant his name so much when he dogged this company and you know he left us like in the dust, and then he turns on WWE too creative, like, yo, how could y'all like support CM Punk when
I
I was
carried
the
this
one
belt for
breaking
a
my
year,
back? Yep. So this is the
wrestled every
perfect
week, broke
time
my
for him.
body.
So I think this is a perfect time for them to be like, you know what? He's gonna go heel and he needs to turn on everybody, the crowd. He needs to turn on everybody in the back. Like they should. I mean,
There's a lot of
like
ammunition there for sure.
yeah. So and then if he wanted to, he's gonna tag with Kevin and Drew to be like, you know what? Screw everybody. Let's screw Roman. Let's screw Cody. Let's screw CM Punk. The top faces, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Perfect opportunity.
And it
But
gives
yeah,
it gives
no,
all of them an opportunity to get breaks and not have to wrestle and kind of like one person wrestle for the group and kind of you know what I mean, like. But
yeah, I had to really sleep on it because I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan, and I'm a big CM Punk fan too.
I remember when we worked at LBJ, you were talking about Seth Rollins, and I still at that point really wasn't watching wrestling, and I only knew about him because of you. You would talk about him all the
Yeah, I'll
time.
be like, yo, this is the guy, this is the wrestler. Seth is one of the best
He's
wrestlers.
one
I
of the
don't care
best.
what nobody says. Is one of the top wrestlers in the world,
I've
dude.
watched
Like
like
his
two.
in ring, top notch, bro. Top
I
notch to
watched
me,
two 1 hour compilation videos of like his greatest moments, and the things he used to do, I was
bro. He
like
has so much
he's
in his.
been
He could still
he
do that stuff. I think.
he literally did everything. He could do like the big like power bombs. He could do like the big powerful like moves like pedigree. He can jump off the rope. He can hit off the jump off the turnbuckles. He can jump off the turnbuckle onto the table. Like literally did everything. Everything. Like one of the most well-rounded wrestlers in history.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I think he doesn't even need a title on him. Like this dude has the best wrestling. He can create stories. Like he has so much to pull from every arsenal. But bro, like this match itself, I'm gonna tell you, this match, like wrestling wise, I don't think it was the greatest match. Storytelling wise, it was great. But dude, we could tell CM Punk was struggling, bro. CM Punk after minute 5, Seth carried that whole match. Seth
I feel
carried
like
him the whole
Seth was
way.
hurt in that match. Like he was
Some
limping.
way or another, I do think Seth did get hurt though towards the end.
And that's one of the things that I have a hard time distinguishing, like especially with Seth, because I'm not sure if he's selling an injury or selling like not like an injury like a broken bone, but like maybe he pulled something, he's like limping. I can't tell if it's like kayfabe or a shoot, but either if he's kayfabing, like he sells it because and I'm like, dang it, like is he injured? Is he gonna be out again? And it could be just like kayfabe, and they're just making a story. But like he's so good. They both were doing that, and like entire time I'm going, man, this is brutal. They're beating the hell out of each other.
They were beating the mess out of each other, but I think Punk was a little winded toward the beginning, and Rollins had to carry a little bit of the match. And I think towards the end, Rollins somehow hurt himself, like because Punk was a little worried at the end. I don't know if you saw it, but you could tell a little bit, like,
Well, I
yo,
think he
check
hit
up
him
on
with one
him.
of the running knees. I think
Yeah,
he hit him in the head, and I think he whispered like, "You okay?" I thought I saw that, like, "You okay?" When he
yeah.
bent down, and then
Yeah,
he hit him with that
he
last one.
definitely he probably was rocked or something, but dude, the amount of like go to sleeps from both of them, bro,
Oh my god,
it was great, bro.
multiple
I was loving
pedigrees.
it. And then curb stomp by CM Punk.
Yeah,
Oh man,
they were hitting each other with the finishers. That was the
dude,
same.
I
Like that's
was
a
loving it.
WrestleMania match.
I was like, yo, but and then Punk getting hit with the pedigrees, he was eating them, bro. He's like, you know what? I was taking freaking pedigrees 15 years ago by Triple H. This is nothing, bro. This is nothing, you know. So dude, it was good. And I thought at some point Heyman was gonna come get involved and stuff, but I think it ended the way it should have ended, you know. So and then I think this is gonna be a great direction to go to for Mania. As Mania season is upon us, and I'm
It is
pretty
upon
excited
us.
to see what they give us because they have given us Mania caliber matches already. Like, how can you top all this at Mania, because dude, we have a big Mania coming up, and I think like with all these stars, oh man,
We'll see how it unfolds.
yeah.
It's still a little unclear how things will go and how matches will. Like it felt
I,
obvious last year, like where the where what WrestleMania was going to look like in regard to like the main events and stuff. Like
yeah.
this year, I feel like everything is up in the air. Like I have
Yeah,
no idea what's
like
going to
this is
happen.
the first Mania in a while that I'm like, bro, they can go so many directions. Like, like Randy can come back and screw somebody over. Randy can do something and he have a match with John Cena, or I don't know,
We're
man.
gonna
Like,
get that.
yeah,
We're
something.
gonna
It's
get
gonna be
that
something
some
along the
point
line.
this
Or
year.
John Cena can go and fight Cody, or Seth
We're
can
gonna
do
get that
this.
too.
Like, we'll see.
Yeah,
We shall see, because I really don't know what's going to be the main event this upcoming WrestleMania, but I do plan to take a trip at least to see one night. I think I'll be there one night. It
yeah.
was
You
my
said you're going to
birthday
Vegas that
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah, so it's my birthday week. I think we're gonna take that trip. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what direction they go. I think after the Rumble, we'll start seeing like what kind of is trickling and what way, but. I mean, we're close. What, Royal Rumble is what, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah,
or are they going
February,
February? Are they doing February? When
February
is the
1st, I
Rumble?
believe.
So yeah, what, like 3 weeks from now? I mean, they got time to like start creating what they want to do at the Rumble, but bro, it's freaking. I mean, time is ticking, and we still don't know what was going to go on. And they said they haven't penciled like the main event yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, what else can you do?
There's a
I
lot.
hope I hope that we will, with like the pairing in Japan, with Lemla starting to send wrestlers over there and wrestle in Japan. I hope that we get like some Japanese wrestlers come and do some wrestling here too.
Put some
Fill
work
some of
in.
the fillers match. Yeah, because I wish they could go with New Japan, because New Japan has so many stars, dude. But
Yeah,
obviously AEW has that contract, so
yeah. So
we'll
overall, you
see.
like the Raw, huh?
Yeah, overall, like I said, I rated a B. It didn't. I didn't think it was a high A, but it was like a good B plus, and it was entertaining. We didn't have that many matches, and it was still good. Like overall, like I think they did a tremendous job. It felt like a mania to me.
Yeah.
So could it have been a little bit better? Yes, and it would have been better if, like I said, like some of those things happened.
I think it was better than not most, but probably half of the PLEs that we saw last year. Not the big four, of course, but I give it a high B, like a high 8. But the only thing that I felt was missing was, again, going back to the beginning, was some of those backstage segments, and I think that's just because it was a debut. I think we'll get more backstage segments starting next week and
We
stuff.
will, and that's what's gonna be in the fillers. Instead of the fillers coming out like John Cena and Hulk Hogan, they'll probably have backstage segments. But it's an exciting time. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping AJ comes back pretty soon and gets something going too, because he's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Just
I
one
hope
of the
with
greats.
so we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers out there that they don't have no stories going into Mania, which I think that should have a story. So we'll see, and they can bring back some wrestlers. I mean, I don't know, man, but I'm excited. I am excited.
I'm
What's the
excited.
next besides Rumble? I think it's Saturday Night Live is on the
Saturday night,
20. Yeah,
main event.
or Saturday night a main event. Sorry,
I think it's
and I don't
2 weeks
even
away.
know who's gonna fight there,
It's 2 weeks
because they're
away.
doing that at.
They're gonna have the women's intercontinental match.
Oh, that's where they're gonna do it at.
Yeah,
The,
just like they did with the U.S. champion
Oh,
with
okay. I think that's
Champion.
good. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know who else is gonna fight, because they had last time they had Kevin Owens and Cody. I wonder who they're gonna have like besides the Intercontinental, who they're gonna find in the main event. Because I don't think they're gonna end with that.
nah, nah. They'll you know, forgive me, viewers, if you've made it even this far. I don't know the card for that, but
Yeah, I don't think they have one yet. They haven't set it up. That's why I'm like, it's weird. I mean, Gunther has to fight, because I feel like we haven't seen Gunther, dude.
yeah,
That's one that I'm like, I'm not that. I mean, I thought Gunther was gonna be a great champion, but I feel like he hasn't had like good competitors. And in our reality, as big as they built him, like who are you gonna put against him and actually put a dent in this man?
maybe
Like,
Cena.
that's the only thing. That's why I'm like, man, he probably will be the one to dethrone him.
Yeah, I mean, we got times. It's hard to tell because there's belts I foresee being placed on certain people who don't even have the numbers of degree of separation. Like I see Punk winning the world title, but how does it come from Gunther? Does he face Gunther, or does Gunther lose it with someone else, and then we see Punk take it from him? I mean, it's too much to see.
They can create all that. In all reality, they should put that match in the Rumble. Let CM Punk be the champion. Take it to Mania. Give him a CM Punk Cena. Right there, boom. But I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. That's for the next episode.
Well, thank you for coming out, man. Going
Yeah,
over
no,
Monday Night Raw.
yeah, no problem, man. I was very excited to talk about this, man.
You got any plugs you want to get out?
Huh?
You have any plugs you want to get out? Where can people find you?
Oh no, same place as last time. Jon Pocasangre on Instagram. I'm actually working on my personal podcast. I'm still on the ifs or buts. I had Pocas Cafe podcast originally. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it at Pocas Cafe or I'm gonna be moving forward with my Poca Fit and then just make it Poca Fit podcast and have wrestling episodes on there. Kind of just Poca Fit being my actual thread in general, because the Pocas Cafe was good for a while I had it. Now I'm kind of moving forward with that. So,
That's
but
all
yeah,
good.
you guys can find me on Jon Pocasangre or Poca Fit if you guys have any fitness question. I am open to anything, doing anything. So
that's what's up, man. Well, thanks for stopping by.
no problem, bro. Pleasure.